Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is ThePromG. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, the video I'm bringing you guys today is one that I never really wanted to make, but I figured eventually I probably would end up making it, and that is telling you guys that I was recently scammed trying to buy manga. Now, unfortunately, being scammed is something that's not very new to me. Back when I was more into clothing, I had my fair share of run-ins with scammers who ended up taking my money from me, so obviously it's not a good thing to happen to you, but while I've been more into manga than clothing, I've only gotten scammed once. I think it was for the Junji Ito Gaio hardcover. It was for like 12 bucks and I got it back because it was through PayPal. That incident I wasn't too upset about, but this one that I'm going to talk about has me really upset just because of the volume that I was trying to buy and just how much anticipation I've had ended up just all being for nothing in the end. And before I go any further, I'm not going to out the seller who actually sold me the book, but I might hint at it a little bit. It could just be one rocky transaction I've had with this company, even though it's really shady. But without further ado, let's get right into this whole situation. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that for the past few months, I've been collecting the manga series Gantz. Now, if you don't know anything about this series, I'll just say that most of the volumes are about $10 used, which is already kind of steep, but some of the more outlier volumes get into like the 30, 40, 50, and up range, like 26, volume 20, you know, these volumes, some of them have a very high price tag accompanying them. And throughout the past few months, I actually have been collecting this series pretty successfully, and where I'm at right now is I'm only missing one volume of Gantz left, that being the final volume in the series, volume 37. Now, one thing that you might know about me is that I actually really hate reading manga online, so I've been putting off reading the last volume of my favorite series just so I could get this volume physically. And volume 37 is one of the most expensive volumes in the series, so I tried to make it a task to find it for a good price so I could finish off the series physically and enjoy it to the fullest. That being said, it's been very hard to find a good price for a good condition copy of volume 37, so I've been scouring the internet for, months looking for these volumes, but I just haven't had much luck finding this volume 37 to complete the series. Now, if you go on Amazon, you'll find new copies for about $80, I think, and if you go on any other sites like eBay, I don't think there are currently any listed as of when I'm making this video. So when I found a copy for $50 on AbeBooks, I was pretty thrilled. This is a lot cheaper than buying it new for $80. Now, AbeBooks is basically your typical book manga marketplace. They compile all these different sellers into one website so you can see what multiple people are selling the certain volume for in a certain language, in a certain condition. You can filter by, relevance, lowest price, highest price, all that kind of stuff. And I've bought through AbeBooks in the past, and I've never had any negative transactions. Everything's always arrived in a timely manner, in condition as described. So when I went to go buy something from AbeBooks, I really thought nothing of it. But yeah, basically I found this volume 37 in acceptable condition in English, published by Dark Horse, with the correct ISBN number. So I thought, $50 for an acceptable condition, it's not optimal. Acceptable condition is one below good condition, then above that you have very good and fine, like new, and then new. So those are kind of the tiers you have. So acceptable isn't optimal, but for the price I was getting it for, even though 50 seems like a lot, it's a lot cheaper than anything else I could have got at the time. It ultimately came down to me being really tired of waiting to see how Gantz ends. But yeah, one thing I noticed about the seller that kind of weirded me out is that it was coming from the US, the state of Maine, but the title of the store name had something to do with Europe. And again, I won't say the exact name, but it kind of just made me think like, is this coming from Europe because, is it maybe based in Europe? Or maybe they're just from Maine, but they're, originally their ancestors are European. I don't really know. What you name your store isn't really up to me at all to judge. But yeah, I saw that the seller was located in the state of Maine. Is the English Dark Horse correct ISBN. So I placed my order of $50 for this one book. So if you bought any manga recently during this whole coronavirus outbreak, you'll know that, shipping times are kind of up in the air and unpredictable, depending on who you buy from. So I knew that I wasn't going to get any Amazon Prime type shipping with this, maybe a week or two tops. So the thing about this transaction is that there actually was no tracking number given, and I can't really remember if I got one in the past from buying on AbeBooks, but it's definitely not ideal to not have a tracking number. Obviously, you want to know where your book is at. What they do give you is an estimated arrival time, kind of like eBay, except it gives you more like a week range of when the book might come, so that kind of gives you something, but obviously you'd rather have the tracking number, which obviously wasn't there. And as time goes by, I realized that the book hasn't come and it's been like 3 weeks. Now, I went back and checked the date that was supposed to arrive, and we reached the date at the later end of the range that they gave me. So I was kind of concerned, but I figured, I'll give them a few days to see if it comes in. Obviously it's not like a strict deadline, so I'll have a little bit of leniency. But yeah, days turned into a week, and I got kind of worried about this deadline not being met. So I went and I left them a message and basically saying, is there any update on this package number? Do you have a tracking number that you can give me? And basically they said, we don't have a tracking number, but please just be patient, with the whole coronavirus thing going on right now. So I understood where they're coming from, and I decided to just keep waiting. Now one day I was just checking the mail, you know, even if I have a book or I don't, I usually check the mail every day, and I wasn't expecting any books that I'd ordered recently. So when I saw a package for me, you know, I thought this might be the book from Books Gantz 37 that I've been waiting on for 1 whole month, you know? So I was pretty excited when I initially saw that this package was in the mail for me, and it could potentially be the book I've been waiting for so long. Now as soon as I took the package out of the mailbox, huge red flag. I looked at the package, I actually have it right here for when I send this book back, but all of the text on the front, excluding my name and address, was in Spanish. So you can probably see where this is going. As soon as I took it out of the mail, I was looking at it and like, please tell me this book is not in Spanish. Like I said, the seller is from Maine in the United States, so I really don't know why this was all in Spanish. I just had my fingers crossed that the book inside was not in the Spanish language. Needless to say, I was so nervous when I was opening up this package, you know. I really didn't want to have to wait this whole month for a book that I didn't even want in Spanish. So lo and behold, I opened up the package, and I got Spanish Gantz 37. Now first I was really just speechless when I saw this book in Spanish. You know, I've been waiting so long, and once I saw the packaging I kind of knew, but I didn't want to believe it really. But yeah, just for a little bit of a comparison, I'll show you volume 37 and let's see, here's like a volume 32. So I'll point out a couple differences in these that I noticed right away to see that it was Spanish. First off, the glaring issue is the Panini logo. I don't know if you can see it very well there, but that is the Spanish publisher for Gantz. It's not Dark Horse, it is Panini, and you can also see on the spine it's at the bottom and at the top, and obviously there's some different, you know, color issues like Panini on the barcode there. And if you've seen another Gantz volume in person, you know that the number and the font of Gantz 37 is actually not correct. It's different. It's some different font, I don't really know, but yeah, compared to volume 32 in English, you'll see the parental advisory, different spine, the Dark Horse, you know, there, and Dark Horse on the back. Also, this volume has a dust cover, which is actually really nice, and I will say this is a much nicer quality a volume than we got with the English release, but you know, obviously I wanted the English one because, you know, I can read English. So like I said, Gantz volume 37 in English goes for 80 new, about 50 to 60 used, and I ended up paying $50 for one in acceptable condition. Not even good condition, acceptable condition. So when I saw that I got this, you know, I was really bummed out. And I was actually talking to my man Lion, a fellow manga tuber, on Instagram, and he told me that he could buy this Spanish volume of Gantz 37 for the equivalent of $6 US in pesos. So yeah, I paid $50 for a book that I could get for $6. Now the craziest thing about this whole situation, in my opinion, is what they said after I messaged them, saying that they sent me the completely wrong book and totally ripped me off. And it made it seem like typical protocol, but when I was reading it, it just seemed like a spit in the face to me. Basically I said, you know, you sent me the wrong book in Spanish, completely wrong ISBN, everything about it is just not correct. In about 2 days they got back to me and they said, you know what, you can either send it back and we'll give you a full refund, or, now get this, we'll give you a 20% discount on this book that you paid $50 for. That's actually a $6 book in reality. So basically what they're saying was, you know, you can pay $40 instead of $50 for this book that's $6 that we're also selling on our page for $10. It just kind of seems like standard protocol that they have to say when someone wants a return. Really, like, come on, you know, you're selling this book in Spanish for $10. You're telling me I can pay $40 for it because you sent me the wrong book? And obviously I'm still holding this book, so I haven't sent it back. And the main thing I'm concerned about is, since this book came from Spain, you know, if I am to return this and just get a refund for what I paid, am I also gonna have to pay international shipping for this book to send it back? Or am I going to send it to Maine, you know? I'm not really sure what they want me to do. They haven't responded to me in days since I filed a claim for return, so I'm kind of in this predicament right now where I don't really know if I should keep messaging them or if they're just not going to respond and keep ghosting me, or if I'll eventually, you know, miss a deadline to return it and I'm just paying $50 for a book I don't want. All I know is that if I do have to send it back to Spain where it came from, I am going to get reimbursed for that international shipping. I'm not paying for that out of pocket, when they already sent me the completely wrong book and made me wait a month for it to come in the mail. Now, a couple days ago, I actually did buy an English volume from Reddit, someone I really trust. So yeah, it hasn't come yet. It's coming from New York. So again, the coronavirus thing is just slowing it down. It's been like a week, and no fault to the seller, but yeah, I'm gonna be waiting a lot longer for that volume 37, maybe, than I will be waiting for this one. So yeah, if there's a moral to the story, basically, just be wary when buying things. If you're buying from Books, just make sure that you get the right ISBN and the right publisher, the language you want, all that stuff, and goes to show you that even if you do have all that stuff down, you know, it can still come in the completely wrong language. But yeah, just be careful when you're buying manga. Make sure you guys don't get scammed. If you are doing something, make sure it's through PayPal, whether it be through Reddit, eBay, stuff like that. You know, you can always get your money back through PayPal if the seller is in the wrong. So keep that in mind when buying manga, and hopefully you guys won't have to deal with any of this BS that I've been going through getting scammed on manga. But yeah, that's going up with the video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.